அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Good morning to all of you. I have my watch here, so I'm very careful. There's a selfish reason why I have a watch, because I had to catch a flight also. Otherwise, I'll also go on speaking. ஒரு mic கிடைச்சா போதும். Bureaucrats can go on and on, just like that. Because we have so much experience to share, and we have a very captive audience. It's wonderful to speak to all of you. The guest of honor gets the second last opportunity. The chief guest gets the last opportunity to speak. But sir, you have to suffer us. Professor Babu is an amazing speaker, educator, an energetic person, a person whom you should all listen to, because he was not only a member of the UPSC, but he's mentored a lot of young IAS officers. So, good morning, sir. Santhosh sir was my senior. We used to draw a lot of inspiration from sir. Mr. Gopinath, you know him very well. Of course, Subramanian sir, you heard. Israel, you should know something about Israel. I was appointed for 2 days as an election commissioner, special election commissioner in Jharkhand, in Midnapur. It was just in West Bengal. And I didn't know. I was sitting in an Elcott meeting and I was asked to come, take a flight and come to Calcutta and come. So, from Calcutta, I was picked up by a young state service officer. He said, "Do you have an idea where you're going, sir?" I said, "Absolutely not. You're going to the heart of Naxalism in India. This is called Jharkhand." And my heart was beating, but I didn't show it on my face. I said, "So what?" But my heart was beating, and I didn't tell my wife also. I just took the flight and went off. And then I called up Israel. And I told him, "Say, I'm going to this place." He said, "Sir, I will call up those people." And when I went there, I was there only for 2 days. And let me tell you, it's massive security. You are not supposed to go on this Murram roads, as it were. There are roads called Murram roads, all mined. In fact, 3 of my people got bombed and killed just 15 minutes before I was to pass through that. 1 small postman, the poll officers. So there, I traveled without any security in 26 villages. Just to understand what is India there, what does it mean for India there. And I found the name they took all with a lot of pride was Israel. Please give a clap here. That is the blessing that you get as an IAS officer or as an IRS officer or any public service. As Satyapati sir said, you get so many chances these days. It was only 2-3 chances in those days, and they came out flying in flying colors. But you have all the chance. Why I tell you this is, what is the purpose of your joining the service? Please understand, please think in your mind why you're joining the service. For me, that day, and I put it in my personal website also, that day I told the IAS interview board is to serve India. And today I feel after many, and there was a muffled laughter in the board itself. Aspirants come and talk like this. But over the way they become corrupt and they become bad. This is a general feeling. But 22 years later in service, I can tell with a lot of confidence, that's the reason why you're here. You just imagine this room here. Just imagine this room. This room would have been built by a mason, some people. But the moment this room is complete, they have no access to it. Just imagine that. Or you look at our roads which are being laid. Who lays our roads? Very poor people. When they lay the roads, who runs the Mercs and the Audis? It's us. Or you look at our farmers. They give us 2-3 square meals a day, but they themselves commit suicide. Or you look at my artisans. They give us such beautiful pieces, but they are in penury. So there's something wrong with this system. But they are the people who are really literally cross-subsidizing our happiness. So the person at your home, the cook, the kayal, the gardener, all those people are the people who are building India day by day. And we are giving only directions. So our life, as Subramanian sir said, should be a selfless life to serve those citizens who are still, below us. So if all of you, let's say 300, 400 in the 3 floors that you're having in this beautiful building that you're inaugurating today, if 300, 400 youngsters are here, and some of you, and most of you, get in public service, please continue till your retirement like that. Never get wrong on the way. Not even for one moment. It should be like the drugs. Say no the first time, every time. Say no to pressure, no to temptation, all these things. So when you get into the service, you will get to know all that. But 2-3 things I want to tell you was, by default, by design, Or as a natural person, you are a leader if you get into the service, right? So your L will stand for, if you're a good listener, please be a good listener. So whatever they teach in the academy, please listen. Take it to your heart, take it to your lungs, take it to your liver, and dream about it. You be a good listener. E would stand for empathy, ethics. So sir was talking about ethics and empathy. Empathy is trying to put yourself in others' shoes and trying to understand their problems. That comes foremost for an administrator. A would stand for an agenda. What is your agenda? What's your personal agenda? Do you have a personal agenda? See, what happens is, when I was a doctor, many of us think that the government makes us doctors so that we can become good. That's not the idea. We don't become an IAS officer to become grand in our lives. We become an IAS officer to serve society. And we are just instruments or tools in the hands of a policy maker to make those things happen. There's a bigger scheme of things of government which happens is because the IAS officer or the IPS officer or IRS officer, whoever is it, acts, government acts through them. So you're very incidental to governance. Many of us think that the whole world runs because of us. I mean, maybe. But the point I'm trying to make is that, just like the barber, he doesn't cut his own hair. Right? He cuts somebody's hair and then gets a lot of happiness. The dentist doesn't pluck his own tooth. Right? He plucks somebody else's tooth and sees a smile. That smile is the priceless thing. Whatever $1 million you get will not fetch you that smile. Right? So, the A for agenda, D for direction. All youngsters sitting here, some of you have done excellently academically. Some of you have done averagely. No problem. But today, you decide today. You already decided, as Israel said. And young Rangarajan is also here. I forgot to mention him. I was chanting officer. If you go to Assam, people will tell you about Rangarajan. Today you have decided to enter this service through this academy. Try for this. So there are certain things, attributes that you all need to have. I never had those when I was trying for the civil service. I never even wrote a note on the piece of paper. I just read and wrote. But today the things are different. You have Google, you have internet, a lot of information, surfeit of information. But the important thing that you have is, just like Usain Bolt runs 10 seconds or 8.87 seconds for that 100 meters, he would have done hundreds of kilometers running and jogging and doing more. Please wake up at 5 a.m. My request is, your preparation mentally is very, very important to get you in this. Sleep at 10, have 7 hours sleep, but wake up at 5. If you wake up at 5, you will succeed. If you wake up at 6, you may succeed. If you wake up at 7, you will not succeed. Let me tell you that. Wake up at 5. 5 is the most beautiful time in the day to wake up. Have your ablutions. Go for a walk or jog. Okay? That's very, very important to pump you up. Your adrenaline should be there till 12 o'clock, 10:30 in the night. Right? And when you walk, put your earphones and hear BBC or any news, radio news. It's very interesting. I put on the BBC all the time. 1 hour of BBC is good enough to get you all the national, international, world news in one go. And you're enjoying, or you put music, calm down. Right? Then, of course, the rest of the things are told by the academy. But diet is very important. Don't eat all this dirty stuff from the hotels. If possible, please eat from your homes. Self-cooked food, very little food, preferably vegetarian. Fourth thing is, drink a lot of water. This will keep you in good stead. See, the idea is to be consistent in your studies. So if you're consistent throughout the day, and for 365 days, 100% chance that you will qualify. But if you're inconsistent, you're doing exercise for 10 days and then you don't do for 2 months, you'll bloat up, right? So consistency is the key here. You have to be extremely consistent with it. Because your parents have, as I've told, your parents have pinned a lot of hope on you. There's a nation waiting for young people like you. See, we need to transform our country. 70 years we have said, India will be like this. But let's say, assume next 5 years. Can we transform India? You just go to Google and look at 1960s photograph of Singapore. Look at, I've studied in Singapore, that's why I know. 1960s photographs will show that it's the worst country in the world, mafia country. But one man simply thought that this bloody place can be transformed. And today you look at it, you don't need to go there, just you need to go to Google and search. And you'll find the transformation that's possible. So within you, this transformation as an individual, and you do a self-audit on a nightly basis, just before you go to sleep. Do a self-audit and see whether you have done what you were supposed to do on that day. These are very, very important things. So I will not speak much more. I have taken 10 more minutes. I wish to thank. So one more thing which I want to tell you is, in the speech of Israel, I noticed, I was listening very, very carefully. There's an attitude of gratitude in his speech. You know, something which is very rare. He acknowledged Manikivil. He acknowledged all the people, Sendilvedan, Viminandan. He acknowledged my whatever little contribution. See, this gratitude is a duty which ought to be paid, but which none has the right to expect. This is what's said by Rousseau. So, here's a person who is not only saying, accepting that, but he's acknowledging that. So please acknowledge with gratitude what your parents are doing for you, what your people are doing for you. That will be great in your this quest for success. Be always grateful to your people, your parents, your everybody who's supporting you, minute by minute. Don't let them down even for a minute. Okay, I've said this much. Let me thank Israel for this wonderful opportunity of addressing youngsters or potential future leaders who are sitting here. I'm sure all of you will qualify, even if you don't qualify. Let me just see, the idea is to excel. Think world class. Think world class every moment, and never ever think of the self. Okay, there is a point, there are two phases in the life of a human being. And this is according to a philosopher called Santhosh Babu. Okay. You are a taker and you are a giver. You are a taker as long as you are dependent. So you're dependent on your parents, you're dependent on books, you're dependent on friends, you're dependent. So you keep taking things. Only to do what? Only to give back. And this giving back is without any barriers. Absolutely giving back. Last point I would like to say to you, all of you, is, see, you all talk about patriotism. What is patriotism? Patriotism is not when Sachin Tendulkar hits a sixer, or one of our Jawans die in Jammu Kashmir. Patriotism is about loving our people across, irrespective of any barriers. Okay, so these are things which an aspirant like you should have in mind, because ultimately when you go into a board where Balagurusamy sir would have been a member, these are the things they would expect of you. Not only a smart guy who can communicate, but who has, you know, this burning desire in his tummy to see a different India. That India is what we need to see. Thank all of you. I am seeing Srinivasan sir, a lot of senior journalists here. Vijay is there, Anand is there, Aravind is here, Madam Israel is here, the little children are here, Cherian is here, I think Shiv Kumar was there, many of them have left. But this is an important day, not only for all of you, but the family of Israel, family of Rangarajan, all these people who have put in their sweat and blood to ensure that they excel in social entrepreneurship. This is just not business as they said. This is to bring out gems out of you, the uncut diamonds that Satrapati sir was talking about. To bring out this diamonds in you so that we become better and better human beings and ready to serve our country. Wish you all the best. God bless. Thank you.